Romance of Sui and Tang Dynasties Chapter 5.
Okay, so let's set the scene. We have Tanggong Li Yuan, who, later founds the Tang Dynasty, traveling near the capital.
Right.
And bam, attackers jump out. But Li Yuan's first thought is, oh, these are just common bandits. He figures, put up a fight, they'll scatter.
And that was a critical, almost fatal mistake. Because the source makes it absolutely clear these were not your average robbers. No, this was a hit, a political assassination attempt. They're explicitly called East Palace Guards, the guards.
Not bandits. That's a huge difference.
Huge. These weren't desperate thugs. They were elite, hand-picked soldiers, described as skilled, brave professionals.
Okay, so if they're guards, that implies state backing, or at least factional backing. Who sent them, and why target Li Yuan?
Well, this gets right to the heart of the political tension. Li Yuan was becoming a threat to the powers that be. The source says they were sent by Yuan Shu, a big official linked to the East Palace, think Crown Prince territory, established rivals.
So the East Palace saw Li Yuan as a problem, a political obstacle.
Exactly. The feud mentioned is likely just the excuse. They needed him gone. And not just him.
His whole family.
His entire family. The order was ruthless. Eliminate the potential rival, root and stem.
And these guards, they knew the stakes.
Oh, absolutely. They were told not to come back unless the job was done. Failure meant their own lives.
So they weren't going to give up easily.
No way. Which explains why the fight was so brutal. It lasted, what, one shichen?
A full 2 hours. Right up until sunset.
Yeah.
And Li Yuan's men were outnumbered 2-1.
By elite forces, remember.
Right.
And the details in the text really emphasize this. It's not just a skirmish. They list these incredible horses, the Purple Zipa, Silver Shizi, Fire Dragon Colt, even a Jade Mayu.
Those aren't just names. They signal serious status. These attackers were well-funded, well-equipped.
Precisely. It shows Li Yuan wasn't fighting bandits. He was fighting a faction with resources, institutional power.
And their weapons.
Just as specialized. Pine green blades, Sangmen swords, fire-tip spears, even a flowing gold rake, and those big, ornate battle axes, the Zhe.
Wow. So every detail points to a professional, deadly operation.
Exactly. Professional, relentless violence.
And after 2 hours of this,
Yeah.
Li Yuan's situation was desperate.
Completely. The text says a circle confined Tanggong and his retainers. He was trapped, exhausted, worried about his family.
Basically, he was done for.
Looked that way. He was about to be killed. And then, then destiny, or just sheer chance, brings 2 travelers past Linsen Mountain.
Okay, so enter the hero. Who are these guys?
Well, the main one is Xin Shubao, also called Qiong. He's with a companion, Fan Jianwei, and what's interesting is they're not looking for trouble.
No.
They're just on the road. They'd literally just finished registering their discharge from the army back in Qiong. They're basically civilians heading home.
So 2 guys, probably tired, just wanting to get home, and they stumble into this massive 2-hour battle.
Pretty much. You'd think they'd turn around, right?
Absolutely. Ride the other way, fast.
But this is where that code of chivalry, the Xia code, it sort of kicks in. It's actually Fan Jianwei who pushes it.
How so?
He knows Qin Shubai's reputation back in Shandong. They call him Sai Zhuanzu.
Sai Zhuanzu, meaning rivals Zhuanzu, that ancient assassin known for being incredibly effective.
Exactly. It's a huge compliment. It means Qin Shubao is known for being decisive, lethal when needed.
Okay.
So Fan Jianwei basically calls him out, says something like, how can a hero like you ignore injustice on the road? Puts him on the spot, morally.
And Qin Shubao, what's his reaction? Does he jump right in?
Well, yes and no. What's really telling is his first priority. He agrees to help, but he makes Fan Jianwei take charge of the military prisoners they were escorting first.
Wait, they were escorting prisoners, even after being discharged?
Apparently so. It was their last official duty. And Qin Shubao insists on fulfilling that responsibility before charging off to be a hero.
Huh. So duty first, then glory.
It speaks volumes about his character, doesn't it? True chivalry isn't just about fighting, it's principled. He has this internal compass, a sense of order.
Okay, so once the prisoners are secured, then he goes.
Then he goes. And the description is amazing. He tightens his belt, getting ready, grabs his heavy golden maces, mounts his yellow spotted horse, the Huangbiao Ma.
Golden maces, those sound heavy.
Very. We're talking serious impact weapons. And he charges down the mountain.
Must have made quite an entrance.
Apparently. The text says his shout was like spring thunder or lightning from his tongue. Just this incredible sound.
Did the guards react immediately?
At first, no. They were exhausted, focused on finishing Li Yuan. They probably just saw one guy. Big mistake.
Why? Because he was fresh.
Fresh, angry, mounted, and wielding those incredibly heavy maces. Think about the physics. These guys have been hacking away for 2 hours.
Right.
And suddenly this force of nature hits them. The first 2 guards he meets struck down instantly.
Instantly. Wow. One guy.
One guy, changing the entire dynamic. Suddenly, he's not just a problem, he's the problem. The momentum shift must have been terrifying for them.
So that arrival completely turns the tables.
Absolutely. Shockingly fast.
Huh.
The guards realize Li Yuan isn't the main threat anymore. This new guy is.
They switch focus to Qin Shubao?
They try, but it's too late. His force, his sheer momentum. The sources he scattered them like leaves swept by the wind, just overwhelmed them.
And there's that description of his fighting style.
Yeah, it's quite poetic. Single rays like a line of white egrets, dual presentation like 2 streams of flying water. It suggests this fluid power, even with heavy weapons, skill and speed.
So the attackers are routed. What happens next? Does Li Yuan catch anyone?
He does. They capture one of the guards during the chaos, and Li Yuan, probably running on adrenaline, orders him executed immediately.
Understandable, maybe.
But the guard yells out the truth. We're not bandits. We're East Palace guards. Lord Yuan sent us.
The confirmation? That must have stopped Li Yuan cold.
You'd think so. He realizes he just survived a high-level political assassination plot, not some random robbery.
Changes things.
Yeah.
How does he react to the guard then?
He shows mercy, actually. Spares the man's life, calls him a poor civilian, basically someone forced into it by powerful people.
Interesting. So, having survived, his first thought is gratitude towards his rescuer.
Exactly. He wants to thank this hero who literally saved his life and his family. So he sends his retainers over to invite Qin Shubao for thanks and rewards.
Sends his retainers.
Huh?
Okay. How does that go down?
Badly. Qin Shubao just flat out refuses. Immediately.
Refuses.
His words are pretty direct. I just saw injustice on the road. It wasn't for your lord, nor do I seek your family's thanks. And he turns his horse to leave.
Wow.
Right?
He's making a statement. He didn't do it for Li Yuan or for patronage or money. He did it because it was the right thing to do, period.
That's powerful. How does Li Yuan take the rejection?
He gets it instantly, realizes his mistake. I should have gone myself, he thinks. How could I send a servant to thank him? It was an unintended insult. So what does he do?
He jumps on his own horse and chases after Qin Shubao. For more than 10 li, the text says. That's several miles.
He chases him for miles just to say thank you properly?
Seems so. And it's only because of this persistent chase that Qin Shubao finally stops.
To accept the thanks?
Not really. More to just end the chase. He gives his name. My surname is Qin. My given name is Qiong. Maybe figuring Fan Jianwei would tell him later anyway.
Just the name.
Just the name. And then, whew, he's gone. Speeds off like an arrow, the source says. Doesn't wait around.
Incredible. No reward, no position, just gone.
Mm-hmm.
That final quote really sums it up, doesn't it?
Living life with chivalry, helping others without seeking fame. That's the essence of his character in this story. Tang Gong owes this guy his life.
He absolutely does. And this is where that whole idea of debt and destiny kicks in, but it immediately goes a bit sideways.
How so?
Well, Tang Gong is desperate, to find out who this savior is. But it's noisy horses, bells clanging, the aftermath of the fight.
Right, chaos.
He only really catches one syllable, clearly.
Just Qiong.
Just Qiong. And then, crucially, he sees the fighter make some kind of quick hand gesture as he's riding away.
Okay.
Tang Gong looks at that gesture and interprets it as the sign for the number 5.
Ah, so he puts it together.
He does. In his mind, the name must be Chongwu. Chong for the sound, Wu for the number 5. And he swears right then and there he'll remember Kongwu forever as his great benefactor.
But it's based on a misheard sound and a maybe misunderstood gesture.
Entirely. It's kind of tragically funny, isn't it? This huge sense of obligation, this lifelong debt he feels, it's built on a complete misunderstanding. He doesn't even know the real name.
That's... wow. Okay, that misstep sets up what comes next, doesn't it? The really horrifying part.
It really does. Because Tang Gong, he's still totally wired, Adrenaline pumping, paranoid. He's resting his horse just moments later.
Still on edge.
Absolutely. And he spots dust kicking up down the road, far off.
Oh, no.
And his first thought, instant thought, is, it's them. The rest of the bandits, the Yudang, they've circled back to finish the job.
He doesn't wait, doesn't check.
Nope. His mind just snaps. That fear takes over.
Yeah.
Grabs his carved bow, aims, lets an arrow fly.
It hits the rider.
Kills him instantly.
Oh, Tango.
And then the dust settles. And it's devastatingly clear. This wasn't a bandit.
It was an innocent person.
Totally innocent. The victim's servants run up and they show Tangong the arrow. It's stuck right in the man's throat.
And it has his mark on it?
It has his mark. Tangong's own arrow. He has to admit it right away. This was in Wushang, an accidental killing, driven purely by his own terror.
Terror of an enemy that wasn't even there, potentially.
Get to that irony in a second, but yeah. And who was the victim? Not some political agent, not a bandit.
Who was it?
Just a merchant. A wealthy merchant named Shan Dao, courtesy named Yongzhong. He was coming back from Chang'an trading silk.
Just a businessman. In the wrong place at the absolutely wrong time. Killed by a high official's paranoia.
Exactly. A completely random, tragic intersection.
So this powerful guy, Yuan, kills an innocent civilian. How does he even deal with that? I mean, the immediate aftermath, is there any justice?
Well, justice isn't quite the word the source uses. It shows more the cold mechanics of power at work.
Okay, what happens?
Tangong immediately offers money. 50 taels of silver for the burial.
50 taels. Is that a lot? Sounds like hush money.
It's a significant sum, yeah. But you're right to sense that. And crucially, it's not just the money. He also promises to send an official representative to the victim's hometown, Luzhu.
To do what?
To formally mourn with the victim's brother, Shan Tom. So he's turning this, accidental killing into a sort of politically managed incident.
Smoothing it over with official protocol.
Precisely. And the servants, they accept.
They just accept after their master was killed.
They do. And the source gives a very specific reason why. It quotes this old proverb. The poor do not fight the rich, and the rich do not fight officials. Zhongbu yu fudu, fubu yu guandu.
Wow. So his rank is his shield? Instantly.
Completely. That proverb basically explains the whole transaction. It's not about justice, it's about status. His official position just shuts down any real challenge.
That's quite a statement on power. The proverb isn't just history, it's like the legal loophole here.
It functions exactly that way in the narrative. So the immediate crisis is handled, the money's offered, the promise is made. But Tangong, he's not okay.
No, I wouldn't think so. He just killed an innocent man.
Right. He's hit by this wave of guilt. The source uses the term Sinhui Yilan-like, discouraged, just overcome with regret.
So much so
that he can't just keep going. He was trying to get out of the past, Chugran, but he's delayed. He needs to stop. He needs sanctuary.
And he's got his whole family with him, right? This large group.
Exactly. It's not just him. So he looks for refuge nearby, finds a place called Yangfu Temple, about 60, maybe 20 miles or so from the capital, Chang'an.
Yangfu Temple, okay.
And the abbot there, Wukong, receives him with huge ceremony, bells ringing, monks mobilized. This is a big deal. A powerful official arriving.
The source describes the temple, right? Gives a sense of the place.
It does, yeah. Paints a picture of grandeur, solid foundations, intricate carvings, sunflowers, pomegranates, mentions the statues of the four heavenly kings, the three great sages. It's meant to feel like this imposing, peaceful place.
A place of sanctuary. But is Tangong feeling peaceful?
Not at all. He's a wreck, a bundle of nerves.
Still paranoid.
Totally. He immediately sets up his own guards around their quarters. He locks the middle door. The source even shows him trying to read later, but he keeps his sword right next to him.
Who does he think is coming? Still the bandits? Or his political enemies?
Both, probably. He's convinced someone is still after him. Maybe those bandits, the Yudang, or maybe agents sent by his rivals back in the capital, like the Crown Prince or Yuan. He thinks they're lurking just outside the temple walls.
Okay, so he's inside this grand, supposedly safe temple, but he's basically besieged by his own fear.
Exactly. And this is where the author hits us with the biggest irony of this whole section. This is the real aha moment.
What is it?
While Tangong is locked down, terrified, sword in hand, the source tells us what his actual enemies are doing.
Okay.
Yuan and the Crown Prince. They dropped the chase ages ago.
What? They gave up?
Completely. They'd already washed off their disguises, gone back to the capital. They were apparently too busy bragging about how they'd roughed him up and embarrassed him earlier.
So they weren't pursuing him at all anymore?
Not at all. Mission accomplished, as far as they were concerned. They'd moved on.
Wow. So Tangong is hiding, terrified, having just killed an innocent man because he thought those guys were coming back, and they were already celebrating back home.
Precisely. The coast was totally clear. He's described in the text as a Jingshanzi Niao,
Which means?
a bird startled by the mere twang of a bowstring.
Yeah.
He's reacting to a threat that literally doesn't exist anymore. His whole catastrophe, Shandao's death, the need for sanctuary, it's all driven by a phantom fear.
That's incredible. The author is really showing his vulnerability here, his human weakness, despite his status.
Absolutely. The political threat was imaginary at that point.
Right.
But the moral debt, Shandao's life, that was horribly real, and it haunts him inside those temple walls.
But then, just as he's at this low point, consumed by guilt and this pointless fear, the story shifts again, doesn't it?
It pivots dramatically from human failure to something else, something cosmic.
Destiny arrives.
You could say that. It's around the second watch. Ergang Shihu. So deep night after midnight.
Oh.
Suddenly, this strange, profound fragrance and Yixiang starts to fill the room where Tanggong is. It gets stronger and stronger.
A scent. Where is it coming from?
That's the mystery. Tanggong checks the temple's incense burner. It's cold, empty. So he goes outside to see what's going on.
And what does he see?
He steps out into the temple courtyard and looks up. And the sky is just alive with celestial signs.
Like what?
The text calls it Jingying Qingyun, auspicious stars and clouds, swirling lights, radiance, auspicious mists. It's a major portent.
And the monks see this too. How do they interpret it?
Oh, yeah. They immediately know what this means. This is the purple star Ziwei Fan descending to Earth.
A purple star. That's the sign of
Emperor. It signals the birth of someone destined for the throne, a monumental event.
Okay, wow. So an imperial birth is being announced in the heavens, right above this temple where Tanggong is hiding out in fear and guilt.
And at that exact moment, the timing is cosmically precise. His guards rush in.
With news.
With news. His wife, who is traveling with him, has just given birth.
Yeah.
Their second son.
The second son, born right then.
Right then. The source even gives the exact date and time. Rangsu, first year, 8th month, 16th day, at the Zishi hour midnight. And it connects it back, saying the birth was likely hastened by all the stress of the journey, the flight, the bandit attack.
So the future emperor, we know who this son becomes, is born in this temporary refuge, overshadowed by his father's recent accidental killing and ongoing paranoia. What a way to enter the world.
It's an incredibly dramatic setup. Birth forged in anxiety, guilt, and fear, yet heralded by celestial signs.
Okay, so the baby's born, the signs are seen. How does Tanggong react now? Does this shift his mood?
It seems to settle him somewhat. He focuses on gratitude and maybe obligation. He thanks the abbot and the temple profusely for giving them sanctuary at the critical time.
Does he give them anything?
Yeah, he gives 10 taels of silver right away for cleansing incense, which is a customary offering after a birth. And he asks if they can stay until his wife is recovered, until the man Yu, the full moon, or 1 month mark.
And then he notices the temple itself.
Right. He looks around, and despite that initial impression of grandeur, he sees it's actually pretty run down, dilapidated in places.
And being a powerful man.
He decides he wants to be a patron, a great patron, a Dashizu. He asks the abbot, what would it cost to do some major repairs?
And the abbot tells him.
The abbot says, well, major work rebuilding parts, regilding the statues that would cost around 10,000 liang, 10,000 taels of silver.
Whoa. That's a massive sum, way more than the 50 he gave for Shandao.
Orders of magnitude more. It's a fortune. And Tanggong.
What does he do?
She doesn't blink. He immediately pledges the full amount, writes it down in the temple ledger. 10,000 taels to rebuild Yangfu Temple and fix up the golden figures.
Just like that. A huge vow. Is it purely gratitude? Or is he trying to, balance the scales, pay off the guilt from killing Shandao with this grand spiritual gesture?
That's the question the text leaves hanging, isn't it?
Yeah.
The motivation is ambiguous. Maybe both. But whatever the reason, he makes the pledge.
And this leads to maybe the best little detail in the whole story, the monk's reaction.
Oh, it's brilliant. It totally grounds the whole thing. They see this enormous sum pledged in the ledger.
10,000 taels, pledged by this official who just showed up.
And what do? They don't gasp in awe. They start murmuring amongst themselves. Cynically.
Huh. What are they saying?
Basically, they're rolling their eyes, they're whispering, yeah, right, we've seen this before. They say people pledge these huge amounts all the time.
And then what?
And then they rarely pay up. They complain that these big talking patrons promise thousands, tens of thousands, but then they either disappear or, worse, they don't pay, but still expect special treatment and favors.
Making the whole eventual project even more annoying and complicated.
Exactly. So the same monks who just saw the purple star descend, announcing an emperor's birth, immediately pivot back to worrying about essentially debt collection and project management headaches.